In the opening scenes, we see elderly individuals in a nursing home. Most of them don't even remember how or why they ended up here. All the while, a voiceover of a woman named Marla Grayson ponders the fact that the world is so organized that some people take from others. Marla doesn't believe one can get rich through honest work. She used to be poor herself, but it didn't suit her. Mr. Feldstrom attempted to visit his mother in the nursing home, but security wouldn't let him in. Later, there was a court hearing where Mr. Feldstrom tried to assert his right to care for his mother himself. He doesn't understand why the court appointed his mother a guardian, Miss Grayson, who placed her in a nursing home and put her house up for sale. All the proceeds go towards Miss Grayson's salary. Mr. Feldstrom considers her a fraud, but the court disagrees, as Marla Grayson is a well-respected guardian, plus a doctor diagnosed Mrs. Feldstrom with dementia, which means she's incapacitated. Marla spoke up, stating that the son hadn't properly cared for his sick mother. He should have taken her into his home or placed her in a nursing home because she couldn't manage on her own. Mr. Feldstrom tried to argue that staying in her own home was his mother's wish, but his argument was disregarded. Marla doesn't deny selling the patient's house to cover the nursing home expenses and her own fees. The court deemed it acceptable, believing Mr. Feldstrom was only concerned about his inheritance. Furthermore, upon Marla's advice, the court upheld the ban on Mr. Feldstrom visiting his mother. Marla was pleased after pulling off another successful scam. On the street, Mr. Feldstrom caught up with her and spat in her face, but in return he received threats far more serious. Marla knows how to stand up for herself, despite being a woman. In reality, Marla couldn't care less about Mrs. Feldstrom's life or the lives of other patients. Marla's business is hunting down wealthy pensioners to later take over their property and their savings. From the nursing home director Sam Rice, Marla learned that one of their patients, Alan Levitt, passed away this morning from a stroke. Marla is upset because now she'll have to cash out all of Alan's money and give it to his heirs. She hoped he'd last at least another 5 years. Now Marla urgently needs to find another patient. Together with her friend and business partner Fran, Marla went to the hospital to meet with Dr. Karen Amos, who is also involved in this illegal business. She gets a cut for providing information about potential victims. From Karen, the scammers learned about Jennifer Peterson, a wealthy pensioner without a husband, children, or relatives. According to Dr. Amos, Jennifer Peterson recently started showing symptoms that could be interpreted as early signs of dementia. Marla and Fran realized this was their chance to make a good profit. They began surveilling the client and gathered information about all her bank accounts. Jennifer is the perfect patient. Marla called Karen and told her they were ready to start. Soon there was a court hearing where Dr. Karen Amos spoke, stating that Miss Peterson, suffering from dementia, was unable to care for herself. The court appointed Marla as Jennifer Peterson's guardian. Everything went exactly according to plan. Jennifer Peterson lives alone. She wasn't expecting any guests today, so she was surprised by a knock on the door. Standing at the threshold was Marla, who handed Jennifer the court order. Jennifer is puzzled as to why she needs a guardian, as she is perfectly healthy. Marla said it's not up to them to decide, only the judge. Jennifer stated that she didn't go to any court and that this was a mistake. Marla in turn made it clear to Jennifer that if she didn't comply, the police would intervene. Fran entered the house, and despite Jennifer's objections, packed her belongings. Afterward, Marla and Fran escorted Jennifer to the car, which would take her to the nursing home. Marla was pleased with her victory, while Jennifer struggled to understand what was happening. She didn't belong in a nursing home, but apparently the court thought otherwise. Marla assured the patient that the staff would take care of her. Jennifer panicked when a nurse took away her mobile phone. Jennifer had no right to refuse anything that was happening. Marla and Fran wasted no time and put Jennifer's belongings up for sale. Jennifer tried to leave the nursing home, but the security wouldn't let her. While rummaging through Jennifer's belongings, Marla found a key. Soon all of Jennifer's furniture was put up for auction. Marla and Fran celebrated their success at a bar. They were more than just friends or business partners to each other. Jennifer approached the administration of the nursing home to get her mobile phone back, but she was denied. When Jennifer became more insistent, the staff deemed her unruly and administered a sedative. Now that Marla had the key, she gained access to Jennifer's safety deposit box, which contained expensive watches, gold bars, and diamonds. Of course, Jennifer had appropriated all of these for herself. Meanwhile, Fran was busy renovating the house. A man arrived, intending to take Miss Peterson away, but Fran stated that Jennifer no longer lived here. Fran asked the stranger who sent him for Miss Peterson, but the man just left. Jennifer's absence clearly made him nervous. In the next scene, we see a dwarf man selecting a sweet gift for someone. This man Roman Lunyov drives an expensive car and has a personal driver. At the agreed place he met Alexei Ignatiev, who came without Jennifer. Roman demanded an explanation. Alexei, looking frightened, said that Jennifer wasn't home. Furthermore, her house apparently was up for sale. Over the 7 years, Jennifer never missed a single meeting, so Roman Lunyov immediately suspected that something had happened. He ordered Alexei to return and find out where and why Jennifer had moved. When Alexei attempted to justify his failure, Roman received a pistol from his personal bodyguard and began threatening Alexei. Roman loves his mother and wants Alexei to find her and bring her back immediately. Alexei dare not disobey because Roman is a very dangerous individual and a well-known criminal authority. Marla shared her discovery in Jennifer's safety deposit box with Fran. It turns out Jennifer insured the watches for $600, but not the diamonds. It's entirely possible it was stolen. Since diamonds don't legally exist, no one will be looking for it, meaning Marla and Fran could have gotten rich. Alexei Ignatiev informed his boss that his mother is currently in the nursing home. Roman has other matters related to illegal business, but at the moment nothing can be more important to him than his mother. Alexei explained that Miss Peterson is in the nursing home by court order. Apparently, Marla Grayson is behind all of this, Jennifer's official guardian. It's Marla who controls all of the woman's assets. Enraged, Roman ordered Alexei to immediately extract the mother from the nursing home. Marla is unaware that she's caught the attention of the mafia. Dean Erickson, sent by Roman Lunyov, came to her office. Marla reluctantly agreed to talk to him. It turned out that Dean Erickson is Jennifer Peterson's lawyer, ready to challenge the court's decision. He believes Miss Peterson doesn't need anyone's guardianship. However, Marla kept insisting that Jennifer is incapable of taking care of herself. At this point, Dean made it clear to Marla that he's aware of her scam. Dean is not going to ruin Marla's business on the condition that she backs off from Jennifer. Marla continued to deny everything, so Dean hinted that Jennifer has very influential friends, with whom it's better not to mess. However, the threat didn't work on Marla. Instead, she was intrigued. Marla wants to know who Dean really works for. Dean didn't answer that question, offering Marla $150,000 if she lets Jennifer go. But Marla demanded $5 million. The lawyer was willing to raise the amount to $300,000, but even that didn't satisfy Marla. Before leaving, Dean told Marla that she would regret her choice later on. Later, Marla and Fran met at a cafe, discussing who could have hired the lawyer. According to the documents, Jennifer doesn't have any relatives to be wary of. Perhaps Dean also knows about the diamonds. Fran thinks Marla should have accepted the deal, but Marla isn't willing to miss the best chance in her life. There's no one who could scare her. Marla decided to visit Jennifer at the nursing home to gather more information. Due to the high doses of sedatives, Jennifer's thinking is impaired. However, when Jennifer found out the date today, she laughed and told Marla that she's in big trouble and that he'll come for her soon. But who exactly, Jennifer didn't specify. Marla pressed Jennifer for answers about who she is and where she got the diamonds. Jennifer told Marla that she's her worst mistake. Marla was forced to leave empty-handed. First, she met with the nursing home director Sam Rice and ordered the worst living conditions for Jennifer. Sam couldn't refuse her. Opening his mother's safety deposit box, Roman discovered that the diamonds were missing. He was ready to do anything to punish whoever stole it. Dean Erickson approached the court, stating that Miss Peterson is in the nursing home against her will. Dean also claimed that Marla and Dr. Amos are involved in a fraudulent scheme, defrauding the elderly. The judge demanded the lawyer to disclose the name of the employer, but Dean is not allowed to reveal the interested party, so the court denied his request to remove Jennifer Peterson from guardianship. Learning about this failure, Roman was furious and threw objects at Dean. Roman intended to take harsher measures and send Alexei and 2 other bandits to the nursing home. Meanwhile, Fran, who managed to find out some information, told Marla that the real Jennifer Peterson passed away of poliomyelitis in 1949. Obviously, the woman they placed in the nursing home appropriated someone else's identity. At Alexei's request, Sam Rice showed him and 2 other guys around the nursing home. But when Alexei asked to see Jennifer Peterson, Sam refused, citing that Jennifer's guardian had forbidden visitation. After these words, Alexei stunned Sam with a taser. Fran is convinced they're dealing with someone truly influential and dangerous. Whoever these people are, they've eradicated all traces of the real Jennifer Peterson. At that moment, Marla received a call and learned about the incident at the nursing home. Alexei and his men were going to take Jennifer from here, but they were thwarted by security. A shootout ensued. Meanwhile, Roman waited in the car in the parking lot. Soon he noticed Marla and Fran. As Alexei exited the nursing home, he was attacked by Marla and Fran, who neutralized him. The orderlies took Jennifer back. Roman was forced to leave with nothing. The police arrived and arrested Alexei. Roman was furious. Marla emerged victorious once again. During the interrogation at the police station, Alexei remained silent. The detective, who was an old friend of Marla and Fran, told them that Alexei Ignatiev is a repeat offender and is the blood brother of 2 Russian mobsters in Cleveland who perished in a fire. One of the brothers was named Nikolai, and he perished along with his boss Roman Lanyov. Marla and Fran asked the detective to keep them informed. Roman is determined to do everything to save his mother and made a call to someone. When Karen Amos was about to leave her office after work, someone was waiting for her in the hallway. Later, while Marla was working out in the gym, she heard on the news that Dr. Amos was found lifeless at her workplace. Marla realized that she and Fran could be next. In a rush, the women packed their things, planning to move into one of their unsold victims' homes. But before that, Marla met with Jennifer again and asked if Alexei was her son. Jennifer replied that he wasn't. Jennifer also told Marla that she would suffer the same fate as Karen Amos. When Marla told the patient that she doesn't know how to lose and will take all her money to the last penny, Jennifer couldn't take it anymore and attacked her. The patient was restrained by the orderlies. After that, the court ordered Jennifer to be transferred to a psychiatric hospital. Marla and Fran are confident that nobody will find them in this house. At the first opportunity, Marla reached out to a jeweler she knew and asked to assess the value of the diamonds. The jeweler has a brother, Mike, who provides a front salesman service for fraudulent transactions and in the future will be able to help Marla and Fran sell the diamonds. They planned to escape but forgot their passports. Fran was going to go home to get it. At that moment in the parking lot, someone rendered Marla unconscious with a sedative dart and took her away. When Fran entered the house, she was attacked. Marla was brought to Roman, who made it clear that he shouldn't be underestimated. But Marla only taunted back, showing no fear. Roman only wants to get his mother back, otherwise Marla's mother will suffer. But Marla couldn't care less. Marla already suspected that the man before her was Roman Lanyov, who staged his demise many years ago. Obviously, he had given his mother a new identity to keep her safe. None of the threats worked on Marla. She demanded $10 million in exchange for Jennifer's freedom. Her main goal in life is to become very rich. However, Roman wasn't going to agree to these terms and ordered his men to get rid of Marla. They rendered her unconscious with chloroform and left her in the car, placing a bottle in her hand, then dumped into the lake. It all looked like an accident. However, Marla regained consciousness and managed to get out of the car. Swimming out of the lake, Marla screamed in frustration. But quickly composing herself, she headed forward along the road. Marla entered the first store she came across and bought dry clothes, as well as some food. Marla doesn't know how to lose and isn't ready to give up just like that. After paying the salesman $50, Marla used his phone, but Fran didn't answer the call. Asking the salesman to call a taxi, Marla headed to the house, where she found Fran with numerous bruises. Marla tried desperately to bring Fran to consciousness. The house began to fill with gas. Marla dragged Fran to the exit. At that moment, the girl regained consciousness. As soon as they left the house, an explosion occurred. Marla took Fran to another house. The girl was still in poor condition. Making sure Fran was okay and asleep, Marla went to the dentist to fix her knocked-out tooth. The next morning, Fran was feeling slightly better. Marla has a lead, the license plate number of Roman's car. Also, Marla showed Fran the hidden diamonds here. Now they have 2 options: disappear with the diamonds and start a new life, or seek revenge on Roman. Marla is sure that Roman will never stop looking for them, so they must act. Fran agreed to it. Having found the address of Roman's driver, the girls arrived at his house at night. The driver went somewhere, and they followed him. Morning had already come. Roman was informed that the car was ready. Wearing a wig and glasses, Marla entered the office, then sneaked into the parking lot and approached Roman's driver under the pretext of being lost. Getting close enough, Marla stunned him with a stun gun. When Roman got into the car, Marla injected him with a sedative and immediately knocked out the guard. Everything went according to plan, and Marla drove off with Roman inside the car. The girls decided not to waste time and get rid of him. They took Roman to the woods, and after administering several more doses of sedative, left him here. The girls also disposed of the car and other evidence. In the morning, a man jogging along the forest road found Roman unconscious and called an ambulance. Roman was hospitalized in critical condition. When he woke up in the hospital, Marla was there and didn't hide her gloating. It turned out that the court appointed her as his guardian because Roman's identity couldn't be established. In the documents, he is listed as John Doe. However, Marla is willing to release Roman and his mother from her guardianship, as well as return their diamonds, in exchange for $10 million. Despite the fact that Roman is not used to putting up with defeats, he is impressed by Marla's determination and offers her to start a joint business. Together they could earn billions of dollars. Marla agreed to this. Roman reunited with his mother, and Marla became a director of a corporation consisting of 80 elderly care companies worldwide. Her business with Roman quickly took off. Marla became very influential and wealthy. In an interview, Marla talked about her staggering success. No one knows that she has already deceived thousands of elderly people, leaving them with nothing. That's what lies behind this success. Now Marla and Fran enjoy their new luxurious life. But one day Mr. Feldstrom approached them on the street and fired a shot. With tears in his eyes he said that his mother passed away alone in the nursing home, and he wasn't even allowed to see her. Mr. Feldstrom was arrested. In the final scene, we see Marla passing away in Fran's arms.